Here I have the June Tackle Club BARRA JACKS box. We have an awesome array of lures in the box this month. It is nice and chilly, it's now winter, so the bite can change, but as per usual, I'm going to start off with the surface lure in the box. And first up is the Rapala Skitter walk. This thing here is essentially like a walk the dog pencil bait, a stick bait of sorts. Awesome finish, as Rapalas always have. And these are super easy to walk the dog with. So it's going to be an early morning, late afternoon surface bite lure, of course. But to fish this, all you're going to do is look for the snags, essentially. Look for, if you're fishing dams, you're going to look for drop-offs where it may come up with a weedy edge, where fish will actually come up to the shallower water and hold in that shallower water looking for that food supply. So with this one, you're going to do a long cast out because these cast like a bullet, so long cast out, and twitch the rod up and down as you're winding, and this will just make the lure dart left and right. I like to add a lot of pauses, so if you nail a good cast right in an overhang or into some structure, I'll do a couple pauses and then pause it maybe on the edge of that overhang or edge of that rock or log that you're casting into. Pause it there before you continue and keep bringing your lure back out of it. Another good way to fish with these is if you're going along a bank and you've got a lot of overhanging trees, or you've got a long weedy bank there along that edge, cast up along that edge and work it along the face of it, especially if you've got a nice drop off there as well, because often the barra will come up and sit on that drop off looking up, waiting for some food, or your Rapala Skitter walk to come along, and boof, you've got yourself a surface barra. Now, as that sun starts to come up a little bit higher and the surface bite can switch off, then you're going to jump over to the hard body in the range that we've included this month. It is a suspending hard body from Pontoon 21. So this one here is the Pontoon 21 Ballista. So like I said earlier, it is a suspending lure, so it's not going to float or sink. It's going to just hold its place in the water. So with this, you can fish it similar sort of areas. You can troll with it as well. If you're not trolling, you're going to cast it out. I like to do maybe 2 or 3 hard rips to get this lure to dive down. Pause, let it sit in that structure there before you start winding back out again. So cast up into the structure, 1, 2 rips to get it down, pause, let it sit there, and then go into a slow to medium wind. If you're more fishing the salt, or this will still work in the fresh, I guess, but you're going to be mimicking either like a freshwater shrimp or a little prawn that's in the estuary as well, then you're going to chuck on this one here. This is the glide shrimp. So pre-rigged out of the packet, ready to go, already have a good weight and hook system on them. So just tie them straight to your leader, cast out, let it sink to the bottom and just hop it back. If the hopping isn't working, try add in maybe 1 or 2 hops into a slow wind. But with this colder temperature, I like to fish these things, all these lures, as slow as you can. So I'll chuck it out, let it sink down, couple little hops, pause, let it sink back down, couple hops, pause, and just continue that. Fish it nice and slow. If you want to go for a constant retrieve, then you've got 2 different options here in your soft plastics, a smaller and a larger option. The smaller one is the Pontoon 21 homunculus in the Awaruna. So these things are a big paddle tail soft plastic, not as big as the next one, but that's good because then you've got 2 different bite-sized options for fishing different water bodies. So you're going to rig them up. Once again, it depends on how deep the water is that you're fishing, but I'm going to rig these up with probably anything from 1/4 to 3/8, maybe even 1/2 ounce if it's real deep water or the current is just super strong. For both plastics, that 1/4 to 3/8 or 1/2 ounce. So that's your Pontoon 21 homunculus Awaruna. The bigger one in the box this month is the Domiki Anchovy shad. So these are a much larger profile as opposed to the Pontoon 21s and have a much larger paddle tail as well. So the beauty with this is because of the bigger paddle tail, you can really slow down that wind. So long cast out, let it sink to the bottom, and I'll just go into a super slow, constant retrieve, and that tail will still just be thudding, thud, 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 all the way back, because you want to keep it nice and deep. Unless you've got a sounder, you can see that those fish are sitting higher up. Then you can speed your retrieve up a little bit more, maybe like a slow to medium. But most of the time, I'm probably going to look at a fairly slow retrieve for both of these plastics. And last but not least, this is kind of like a hybrid. So you've got yourself like a soft plastic, but this one's pre-rigged as well. So this is otherwise known as a soft plastic swim bait. This is one here by Berkeley, the power bait. So it's a pre-rigged giant ripple plastic and has a huge body roll on it because of the way this is built. Comes with a treble already coming out of the body and a single hook out of the top. Pre-weighted system, so you're good to go straight out of the box. If anything, I may look at changing the treble underneath this, especially if you're fishing in an area that is known to hold big barra. They can straighten this treble straight out, so I may upgrade that to a bigger treble. If you're fishing a lot of heavy structure, I'd probably just keep this one on there, because if you get snagged up, it's going to be easy just to bust that back off and get your lure back. But you're going to fish this pretty similar to the other two plastics as well, just a very slow or a slow to medium roll. I'm probably going to use this more in open water unless you're not afraid to snag it up. But like I said, if you are fishing in the snags, leave the current treble on there, so if you do snag up, you can pop it straight off again and more than likely get your lure back. And that's it for the Barra Jacks box this June. If you want to check it out or any of the others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au, pick a box that's right for you, and welcome to the club.